A part of this letter that was sent to the judge yesterday was a list of all the communication that the Baldoni and Wayfair team wants from Blake Lively. I think it's about 133 points here of people and different companies that they want.
Blake Lively is reportedly in panic mode after Judge Lyman revealed her secret attempt to block 133 individuals from testifying in an ongoing legal battle. Among those she allegedly tried to silence are actor Bradley Cooper, several TMZ reporters, and even a director who has worked closely with her husband, Ryan Reynolds. The judge's revelation has sent shockwaves through the courtroom and the media.
But there are other people on this list that I also found extremely interesting.
The judge has officially put an end to Blake Lively's reported delay tactics, issuing a firm order for her to turn over crucial media communications connected to what's being described as a coordinated smear campaign. According to court insiders, Lively and her legal team had been stalling for weeks, attempting to avoid releasing emails, messages, and documents that could potentially link her to efforts aimed at discrediting several individuals in.
And this is where it gets
That's
really
the day Blake Lively is finally scheduled to sit down for a deposition, a word she probably hadn't even heard before this year. But now, it's plastered in all caps across every whiteboard in her legal team's office, circled, highlighted, and maybe
filed a lawsuit accusing someone of all these things, and then she refused to show the evidence that it
Let's talk about Blake Lively's legal strategy, or more accurately, the Olympic level mental gymnastics she's attempting to pull off. What started as a straightforward defense has spiraled into a chaotic mess of contradictory moves that even seasoned legal experts are scratching their heads over. Her latest amended filings didn't just complicate the case further, they took it to a whole new level by dragging her close friend Taylor Swift straight into the courtroom spotlight. Yes, you read that right. Blake actually submitted legal paperwork officially naming Taylor as someone with key knowledge of everything from the onset, environment and creative decisions to the alleged smear campaign at the heart of this lawsuit. It's a bold move, one that instantly raised eyebrows, not just because of the celebrity name drop, but because of what came next. Almost immediately after naming Taylor, Blake turned around and filed a motion begging the court for a protective order to block those very communications from being made public. So, she introduced Swift as a potentially crucial witness, then asked the court to hide the evidence tied to her. Wait, what? Legal analysts are calling it a baffling contradiction.
He said that Taylor knew relevant information about misconduct on the set and was able to provide information about emotional distress and the damage.
You don't get to drop someone's name in a lawsuit and then act shocked when the other side wants to ask questions about it, especially not when that someone is Taylor Swift. Blake Lively's legal team seems to have missed that memo. They're trying to have it both ways, and the court isn't buying it. Let's be clear, Blake was the one who brought Taylor into this mess. She named her in official legal documents, claiming Taylor had first-hand knowledge about the set environment, creative decisions, and even the alleged smear campaign at the center of this lawsuit. That's not a casual mention. That's a strategic move, one that made Taylor a part of the case, whether she wanted to be or not. And yet, now Blake's team is trying to argue that the texts and communications between her and Taylor are irrelevant. Really, irrelevant? Girl, you literally said Taylor was with you shoulder to shoulder through all of this. You praised her loyalty, her support, and practically waved her name like a banner during every press appearance. So,
and there's a lot of talk about these text messages between Blake Lively and Taylor Swift. Blake Lively is still refusing to show them to Brian Friedman and Justin Baldoni.
Now here's where it gets even messier. Wayfair isn't playing games, and they're definitely not buying what Blake Lively's team is trying to sell. They came prepared, and they brought the receipts, emails, timelines, proof that something doesn't add up. According to Wayfair's legal team, Blake amended her disclosures after the public statements and media coverage about the case began gaining traction. That's a red flag. It suggests her team wasn't being fully transparent from the start and only started scrambling to adjust once the heat was on, but it didn't stop there. In what looked like a last-ditch move, Blake's team suddenly canceled a scheduled meet and confer call with Wayfair's attorneys, a standard part of the legal process meant to resolve issues before bringing them to the judge. Instead of facing the other side, they filed for a protective order to shield key communications. That's not a strategy. That's damage control in panic mode. And Judge Lyman saw right through it. After reviewing the mounting contradictions, the judge didn't mince words. The underlying message, do you think